I am still in disbelief that the Oblivion Remaster is a real thing. My first few hours playing honestly felt like a dream. This is amazing. I've been playing Oblivion for 17 years, since I was about 12 years old, and haven't stopped playing. There's so much content being put out about big changes and hundreds of guides being posted, but I want to talk about the tiny, seemingly unimportant details in this remaster that are what make it so incredible. I easily have over 2,000 hours in Skyrim, and honestly, way more than that in Oblivion. From age 12 to 17, I was playing Oblivion every single week, if not daily. It is that one game that is just seared and burned into my brain. Even now, 17 years since the first time I played it, I still multiple times a year fire it up and play for about a month on and off, just RPing a new character. It's the one game that reminds me of my adolescence and how that time in my life felt. I can vividly remember finding so much comfort in just closing my door, getting lost in the music of Jeremy's soul, and turning over every square inch of Cyrodiil. I guess that's my long way of saying I really like Oblivion, and I've noticed almost every single new thing like a freaking hawk. One of my close friends said it best when we were talking about the remaster. The game finally looks like what I thought it did when I was a kid.
Open that gate from out here.
The textures are obviously great, but for me, the real selling point is the ambient effects. The Imperial sewer feels like an actual sewer now. There are cockroaches crawling across the floor. I love all the bugs on the ground. It feels so much more real, like the little nasty little cockroaches. Water dripping from the ceilings. I'm just so impressed by even like the little added ambiance, like the water dripping from the ceiling here and creating like a purpose that there's stalactites and stalagmites in here. Ash and spark flinging from crackling torches. The lighting makes sense, and it makes every dungeon feel more impactful because you can't see it, or it's just not this like blank gray fog. And then the ambience outside has also been taken to a new level. One of my favorite parts about playing Oblivion as a teenager was just roaming around the countryside. This game was so beautiful, and the music just unbelievable. Now updated textures, the music still slaps, and the woods of Cyrodiil sound like you're walking through a forest. Wind rustles through the trees, lightning and thunder crack in the distance, wolves howl, hawks screech, deers let out grunts. I love that there's actually fish in the water now. Wow, look at the water. There's like actually fish in here now, brook trout. There's birds flying off in the distance. I mean, come on. What they have added with visual effects and sound effects has taken the best part of Oblivion and amplified it immeasurably. If you asked any long-time Oblivion player what their least favorite part of the game is, they would most likely say Oblivion itself, which is tough considering it's the namesake of the game. In the original, the gates became extremely repetitive and more of a chore than actual fun exploration. In the original, there are 7 templates that an Oblivion realm can be, so there wasn't really a ton of variation, and I think these realms of Oblivion suffered the most from the graphical limitations of the time. The whole hellscape is honestly hard to sell when you don't have the flourishes that make it scary or intimidating. I like the thought that these Daedra, basically demons, took the time to make stained glass windows. I'm not sure if they've added more level design to the gates or not, but I will tell you as a whole, the realm of Oblivion is so much better. The gates themselves are daunting and intimidating. The ability to see into them and the vague reflection of the interior is just so sick. The lightning and thunder fill the blood red skies, which they tried to do that in the original, but it just kind of made your whole game a misty red colored that was more annoying than anything. The visual effects inside really make the realm of Oblivion look what I'd always imagined. The fire exploding upward in the sigil keep, blood dripping from the spikes inside, the absolutely disgusting disgusting way the punished moves when you open it.
I'm pretty sure as a kid I never realized these are supposed to be hearts. I thought maybe they're like scrotums or something. But now that it pulses, it could still be a scrotum. Dude, that is, when you close out of this, that is something terrible.
And the sigil stone looks like a source of power.
Oh, it's so cool. In the original, like, this makes it feel so much more intense and powerful. In the original, it felt like you were like grabbing a marble. Oh my gosh, that is sick. Dude, you gotta be kidding me.
And when it's all done, the way the gate explodes and tears apart and rubble's flying around everywhere.
Whoa, that was crazy.
They managed to tremendously improve one of the worst aspects of the game without changing anything mechanically and just adding effects to make it feel like a proper hellscape.
Thank the nine.
Implementing new voice actors is such a huge improvement, and I'm so used to hearing the same like 5 voice actors, and anytime I hear a new voice, it's like hearing a stranger's voice from somewhere inside my house. I have been enthralled to hear what the new voice lines are, but what I really appreciate is that they even kept in the strange and weird dialogue that makes Oblivion so funny.
One more coin and I can get a pair of shoes.
When I arrived in Skingrad, the first thing I did was see if they kept in the line about necrophilia at the alchemist store. And am I surprised?
Me? I'm Falanu. House Falalu. As if that matters here.
It's a new voice actor. I am very curious.
I'm the only alchemist in Skingrad. Not much business here. But I can't go back to Morrowind. It's just like anywhere else in the Empire. By the way, do you happen to know what the fine is here in Cyrodiil for necrophilia? Just asking. Let's assume... No. That's nothing compared to Morrowind. Thanks.
It was there, and it was a new voice actor, and it tickles me pink that they made someone new record the lines about necrophilia. They even kept in the line of dialogue with Tandalay, where the voice actor asked to redo her lines.
I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University, the Imperial Legion compound, and the temple all on the same night. Wait a minute, let me do that one again.
I'm also thankful for the clever way they used the chance of new dialogue to introduce DLCs that were added to the game.
Chestnut Handy Stables now offers to protect your horse. Seems handy enough.
Battlehorn Castle, near Coral, is besieged by marauders. I wish I could go and save them. Frost Crag's spire has been uninhabited for so long. They say it was as wondrous as the Arcane University itself.
At the time when all of these different DLCs were introduced to the game, there was no way for them to tell the player about it other than just to spam them with journal entries the second you left the sewer, and it just felt really unnatural. Now, they use the new dialogue as a chance to naturally introduce the DLCs to the player. Something else that is so simple but goes a long way, that there's a bit of echo and like reverb on people's voices now when you talk to them inside of chapels and caves and areas like that.
Sorry. Brother Martin, yes. He's right over there.
Big one. It's a long walk due north of Skingrad in the Imperial Reserve. A long way...
That's really the thing, man. There's just so many little details that help build the entire experience. The new voice lines still capture the Oblivion spirit, and it doesn't feel like there's old bad dialogue and good new dialogue, just additional voice lines to the game now. The game is still the same, and I love that it is at times clunky and awkward, but that was always part of Oblivion's charm.
Ha! You'll never take me down!
What's the matter? Getting tired?
The AI is still just how it was 20 years ago. Look at what happened to me in like the most pivotal part of the early main quest line. I closed the gate of Kvatch, and now me and the guards and several Imperial Watch are storming through the city, cutting down every scamp in Daedra, and to my surprise, every guard had lived so far. But on our last group of scamps, one of the Kvatch guards struck an Imperial Watchman with an arrow.
Who are you shooting?
No need to get violent.
This is incredible. I've never had this happen, even in the original game. He must have accidentally shot and killed that Imperial Guard that's dead there with a bow, and he killed him, and then...
Find the 9 Divine! Assault! Assault!
Can anyone help me?
Someone's been murdered!
They're just all gonna continue. That was maybe the most insane thing I've ever seen. I'm glad some things don't change.
Something I never knew was missing in the original until having the remaster was render distance. It is unbelievable how different Cyrodiil looks now. It has so much grandeur and depth to it. The Gerald Mountains looming in the distance and how the Imperial City rests in this great valley. Like, I never realized how undulating and wonderful Cyrodiil was meant to be. There's some elevation change in the original, but besides the mountains in the north, the game felt pretty flat with maybe some, nice rolling hills. But being able to see far into the distance makes it feel, real. It's just so easy to get completely immersed and lost in the game when I can see this mountain peak in the distance and there's an alien ruin rising up the next valley.
I don't know what it is, man. Back when I used to play Oblivion all the time, originally, going up in the north wasn't that interesting because honestly it's just all white textures, so it didn't look that interesting. Because the game looks so good now, it's like extremely compelling being up here. Man, that is so cool. There's Imperial City right there. Flip around. There's the throat of the world. Just, I don't even know, man. Having this render distance and this ability just to see this far just adds such a grounding and a sense of place of where you are in the where you are in sense of the entire continent of Tamriel.
One thing I will say I do dislike a lot is how the compass tells you the name of undiscovered locations. It kind of ruins the point of discovery if I can already see what it's called. The facial animations are not great, and that's exactly why I love them. They're definitely a huge improvement, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't feel like Oblivion if they were perfect. I find it so cool that they even gave goblins facial animations as well.
Look at his smug little face. That's insane. It has emotions, and
that tweak alone makes me view them so differently. The way that their face can look smug and coy, it just makes them a lot more, human, and view them as some type of humanoid-esque creature, where before they might as well have just been a feral animal, no different than having to go fight a wolf. Now, goblins are really, really interesting. One of my favorite things about Oblivion compared to Skyrim is the movement. Athletics and acrobatics are just so much fun, and they only made the movement even better with the addition of sprinting in this game.
licking the ground as I sprint.
The combat is also extremely enjoyable. Light years better than Oblivion or Skyrim. And the fact that there's so many different types of animations while fighting just rules. There is obviously so much that has changed with the remaster, but as a longtime Elder Scrolls player, it's the little things that mean so much to me. I have been waiting on bated breath for a new Elder Scrolls release, and this wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but damn if I'm not excited to relive Cyrodiil again in an entirely new light. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. I'm going to be uploading way more consistently now, so look forward to the next video. Peace.